Hey guys, you here, right here, Junior. Let's get straight into it with our stunt jump guide for GTA 5 for all 50 locations, all in order, and it's been remade from the one we made many years ago, as it was not the greatest in terms of the efficiency of making you guys going back and forth. So for number one, here we have, as we're entering the airport, on the right hand side there's a ramp as you go towards the car park, and it will be just on the roof, and the opposite side with the second ramp you go into the airport and just be on the other side near the right at the bottom of the map, and this will be the only jump that is closest to the bottom side of the map. And here we have the third one, which will be just behind or literally opposite the second ramp, or you can say symmetrical to the first one, where instead of going on top of the car park, you'll be landing on a car park on the ground floor, and that's quite straightforward. Remember, all of these, you just got to make sure the four wheels all land at the same time or touch the ground at the same time to complete it. If you're landing at an awkward angle, one wheel to another wheel, and it's not synchronized, then it's going to be an issue. So this one will be an Elysian Island, so it'll be on the right hand side of the airport, once again on the bottom of the map. It doesn't take that long to travel from the airport, and all of these you see is right next to each other. So the first one is on the left hand side, to where you're watching from. The fifth one, well, I say the fourth one, and this one you can do as any run up you want. Slower the car, the longer the run up. These cars will spawn in this place, so you can use it if you want. And this one is quite straightforward, the Bobcat. And then as you landed from the fifth one on the left hand side, you see another jump, all similar ramps, and this one I used the Corvette Classic as it had the suitable speed, but you can use any car, and like I said, the quicker it is, the shorter the run up. So the sixth one, straightforward again, onto the roof, all four wheels, get the speed right, get the synchronization, straighten up in between the gap. That's the tricky bit. This one you can be creative with the run up. I just went for this, you don't really need to go and do that, but just to give you a rough perspective of the sort of run up you need with this sort of car and this sort of pace. So that was the furthest one down on the Elysian Island on the roof, and this one is the opposite to where I just landed from the seventh one. This will go on to another section that you got to cross a little bit of this river sort of meander sort of thing, the docks, I suppose. That was a bit of a tricky one, that. I don't know why I made it awkward, but as long as you don't hit the building on the other side, you'll be alright. Doesn't really matter as long as you get the four wheels. This one is on the right hand side of what you've done previously. This goes on to the top of the entry to the Elysian Island, or this section anyway. And this, just make sure, regardless you hitting that wall or not, just get the four wheels on the ground. This one is slightly above the previous jump section as you're progressing onto the top of the map. It'll be right next to the one you just done in Elysian. It was all based in Elysian Island, so you can see it's just above all of those crazy jumps done all together. And these two are right next to each other. You guys can just pause wherever you want to see in this video. It's easy for you with the map where I zoom in and take your time, but this is just to make it as efficient as possible in order. And that was already on 11th one. So on the 12th one, this will be at the dock, so on the right hand side of the Elysian Island. So it's progressive from the airport from the left to the Elysian on the middle, to the docks on the right, into number 12, going on to the 13th. As we're landing to that section from 12, you can see it's literally where I just landed with a Zentorno, but there's a gap there with a little bit of water. You go to the docks and you can simply just use whatever car, as long as you don't land awkwardly. And this one is very simple. Hopefully you don't crash into oncoming NPCs. I haven't had that yet, but 14th one. So this is, we're transitioning on from the bottom section, and this one is once again very simple to accomplish. And then the Burro Heights. This is the furthest right side from the docks to the edge of the map. This will be the only section, or the only jump, and this is a little bit tricky to find, but it's just to be on top of the cliff. And as we come into Rancho, this will be on the left hand side of the previous jump, in the central area of top of a car park, and you simply just come off it, don't hit the building, Oh, well, don't hit it before you land. As long as you hit the ground first, then you'll be alright. Another car park next to that one, just slightly above the map. Remember, all of these are in order in terms of the distance traveled will be minimal with one after each other. This one, as long as you don't land on the second building rooftop and you land on the floor, it'll be successful. And on the 18th one will be in Strawberry, a little bit up. This one's just going onto the highway, get the angle right. Any car doesn't matter as long as you land on this section on the correct direction. Number 19. This one
right, so I need to come.
can be a bit confusing with the appropriate entry point, but once you figure it out,
I try.
you just simply go into the dam area,
See it?
and
Oh, yeah.
you should be able to get this one
Yeah.
very easily,
Oh,
as there's not much
yeah.
issues on the landing. And then this one will be in Pillbox Hill, which is a little bit in the central area, but there's a couple of other jumps you'll see. A little bit of traveling here from the previous one, but once again, as long as you don't hit a car before you land, you'll be alright. And this one's near the hospital area, so here you basically, when you jump off, you can go to the next one. If you just take a left, you will see that from understanding. If you pause the video, so that is just,
Why are you driving off?
some of these jumps are just doesn't have any form of personality to it. It's just, I don't know what they were thinking. Could have been a bit more exaggerated. They could have made us do a little bit of a barrel roll, you know, or something to complete it, rather than just landing on 4 wheels. So this one, right next to the previous one, all in order. Little Seoul on Ginger Street. This one, you just do a little one onto the oncoming traffic. Just don't get T-boned. You can just simply go to the other side and skipping that from getting completely crushed. This is on top of a car park near the previous one, Pillbox Hill we're in. And this one is just, that was a pretty awkward landing. Well, I was pretty fortunate. You don't need to struggle like I did. So this is Elgin Avenue. Another car park, but this ain't gonna be complicated at all. Literally just a little bit of gas and you're done. There's no creativity there. So here we are, onto the 26th on Little Seoul Adams Apple Boulevard, and this one, yeah, once again, not sure, no real, yeah. So 27th, right, got the La Puerta FWY. Now, this is the furthest point up on these intersections, and you just simply get the angle right to make sure you land between this small section, and then you see, if you just saw the little jump, a hint to this 28th one, it's just a consecutive follow-up down below, which is pretty cool. I like that concept. So as soon as you land, you can just continue the momentum, and you can get consecutive successful stunt. And it shouldn't be too difficult. So here we are. This one is on the furthest down below on the ground floor, so don't get confused with that, for the 29th in La Puerta. So you can use anything as long as you land on the oncoming traffic of this section. Remember, the furthest one below. And then once again, when you do it on the left hand side of the previous one on the 29th, the 30th, you'll have this section in the dam section where you just got to cross over to the helicopter parking lot just over this section. Any car would do. You got quite a bit of landing space as long as you don't go into the water, and it's perfect. And then just next to that, after you land, you come loop back round, and then you can just go into this grass section before the dam bit where I used the carbonizer, which I was on the right hand side. There's a little section there. This is by far the most simplest one out of all 50 in my opinion. The 32nd one is a little bit further up. You'll see the this whole oriental section. It's the only one on the map, so it's quite easy to identify. And then if you go further down a bit, you will have the Del Perro beach section. This will be easy to identify. Left hand side of the mid section of the map. We've got one here, and then further down got the 34th. You'll have the upper section going looping up to the right, and then you can just jump off this nice little segment of a car park, the jetty. And a little bit of steps to give you awkward approach, but as long as that I don't know how I managed to complete that, because I didn't even land with the wheels, I landed with the base of the car, but managed to do that. And then when you progressively go down to Rockford area, you got the Burton section as right near the mod shop, and you can go off that, land between the lampposts and just drive casually through. And then when you take a right, and then we'll be straight down a little bit, you come to this section, and there's a nice opening here. Just take a little left, no real speed required, just land nicely, smoothly. And then when you take a right after you land there and take another left, you come to a little ramp where you'll see there's similar sections to this on the other side, but don't get confused. You got to just go between the lamppost, the two sections of that, and then you'll get the golf course on the right hand side. And then that one you can do with any car. Luckily the Serrano is the perfect size. Don't get something that's too high, because you'll hit the top arch section. And just on the right, on the top of the golf course, you go to the little winewood sections, the skinny winny roads, and you can jump off the top towards one of the sides of the golf courses. And then for the 40th, you got to go a little bit further up past the winewood sections into the Grand Senora Desert transition. This part of, like, specifically the mid section of the map, this is quite a fun one. Straightforward there. Most of these are very simple. And this is near the military base, a little bit further to the right hand side midsection. This one is probably the most trickiest one in my opinion, but some people can do it really
Where
easily.
are you now?
The 41st, got to get those four wheels down first, and got to make sure it's between the gap of the fence and the building. And you'll be right, it doesn't really matter if you smash into the building. And this one is a little bit, you know, on the right hand side of the approach from the previous one, where you go the opposite way into this little hidden jump into another lane, but it doesn't really matter, you don't need to land on the road. And then this one is on the left hand side of the previous one. Go a little bit further down, go up this wind turbine section, and there's a ramp off it to the other side of the previous jump where you land it. And this one was a nice little 360 there. And then here we have a little run strip in the Grand Senora Desert, just above the military, as you progress through from the bottom of the map to the top. The 44th, once again, this is just going over a bit of boulders. Very, very simple and eloquently done. And then just above that, as you progress, got the sandy shores. And you could just follow the map, man. Just pause it wherever you want, and it's very, very straightforward. And this one, once again, lovely jubbly. Just go past the little brickwork there, and it's nice and simple. Here's the lighthouse one. Bit you know, bit of a struggle. Can be a bit complicated. The Mount Gordo, right? So the best advice I can give is get a one-star police, get into the police cars, they'll come towards you, and you can keep trying this as it will take the least amount of time. As long as you land on the right-hand side, on the dirt, make sure the four wheels touch before you bounce off into the water. I know it's stupid, it's illogical, but it works. As long as it's done, you get the achievement. That's the goal here. Alamo Sea, so on the left-hand side, you know, just above the sandy shores. And here's a little bit of a dirt section. Just got to go over this section, go over the gap, and land smoothly. Any car would do. And as you progress further down and through the mountain canyon section of the Raton area, you just got to go over this gap. And any car would do, as long as you don't hit the edge, or if you can make it through the gap, it's fine on the right hand side. And this is the furthest point up, the 49th one, on the top of the map. Bit of a travel from the previous one, but this is where you don't need to go all the way back. Nice one before you can either go over the top of that brickwork or before it, like I did. And then this one is the absolute furthest point, top of the map, compared to the first jump on the airport and over the bridge. Nice and easy. There you guys have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. If you guys found this useful, drop a like and subscribe for more. Shall I get sign out? Good night, peace. Yeah.